go.
And now, a podcast that will change your life. Or not. Hey man, no pressure. It's a podcast. This is MJ and the Boys, you lucky bastard.
Hello! Your intros get better every week, Neil. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's changed our lives.
It really
hasn't
has. It really has.
Not necessarily in a good way, but
How are you doing, Neil?
Neil or the podcast has changed our lives?
the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Thought maybe Neil.
Neil's changed everything ever since I met him, though. What's going on, Neil?
Doing good, man.
Let's just talk to Neil
Yeah.
exclusively.
How are you, Sticky? Any new news?
No, I can't think of any. I noticed that you have a scar and a bump on your head, and
What?
you're wearing a pair of weird 1950s old lady cat glasses. What's that about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know?
No.
Oh, so the
course she
people who are looking at our Instagram story.
You son of a bitch. You better delete that. Did
I
you really
can't. How
put
do you
that god?
delete-
I don't know. You took a god-awful picture of me and put it on Instagram with my mouth wide open, telling you no. No means no.
So what's going on with you?
Okay, so I got drunk last night. Okay, I went out with a couple people from work. Stupid monkey boy
Couldn't
party
tell your
Pat.
mouth was open. It just looked like you didn't have any lower teeth.
I hate you. I hate
Well,
everything
yeah.
about you.
I do too.
Instagram stories only last 24 hours, MJ.
Thank
so by the time
God.
this show airs,
No
it'll
one
only
can
be
see
12
it.
hours to see the picture.
Damn it. You will delete it. It will not be there. Anyway, I got drunk with a couple people from work, and somewhere along the line, I went to pee, and I don't know when I lost my balance, but I did. And I knocked my head into a shelf and apparently put out a candle, too. Luckily, my face and my glasses took all the
brunt?
impact. Because, I mean, I don't have, like, it's a wicked bump on my head, and you can actually make out the lens of my glasses
Okay,
where
so
it
I
hit.
guess really that can happen to anybody. But the question I want to ask is, why were you drinking on a Sunday night with coworkers?
Because we didn't have to work today because President's Day.
Happy President's Day.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yes.
what? Huh? You didn't have a show this morning because
Nope.
of President's Day?
Sure didn't.
No, there were a bunch
Suck
of
on
radio
that.
stations that didn't do shows this morning.
Suck on that. Suck on that. So,
President's
yeah.
Day.
So, we all went out last night, and yeah, I
Yeah,
was the one that
bullshit is
somehow.
that?
Thanks
Yeah.
a lot, Obama. So, about speaking of President's Day,
But I'm sore. Sorry. I just.
that got me thinking because I also have the day off today.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah, and I was thinking about the greatest presidents of all time, you know, in movies, of course. And I decided to go ahead and rank them and thought I'd invite you guys to rank them along with me.
The MJ and the Boys Big Five.
All right. Big Five fictional movie presidents. So, in other words, not Daniel Day-Lewis as Lincoln in
Right.
Lincoln. Got to be fake president.
And not Dennis Haysbert as David Palmer in 24, because that's a TV show.
That's a TV show. So we were going movies.
That's a separate list.
We were going movies and we were going fictional.
Okay.
Okay? I'll go first
All
since, you know, I don't think anybody else got a list.
I got a list.
Okay, here's my list. Number 5, Gene Hackman as Monroe Cole in Welcome to Mooseport.
What in the.
Wasn't he he was an ex-president, right?
Yeah, he was
In that
president.
movie.
Yeah, and he was running for mayor of a small town against Ray Romano. It's hilarious. You never saw Welcome to Mooseport?
No.
You'd love it. Terry Crews as President Camacho in Idiocracy.
Yes. I can get behind that.
All right. Jack Nicholson, number 3, in Mars Attacks as President James Dale.
Yeah.
We still have two functioning
Two
branches of
functioning
government,
branches.
and that ain't bad. You see that?
No.
Okay. Here are the real
You haven't
ones.
seen Mars Attacks?
No.
And number 2, Bill Pulliam.
Pullman.
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 Okay, if you say
Oh,
so.
it's a nerd off.
In Independence Day as President Thomas Whitmore. Remember that? Independence Day. He gives that big speech. Today is the 4th of July. Not just for us, but for all of the planet.
Have you seen the sequel?
No, I haven't seen it. I
His
heard it was
performance
the
in
worst
that
thing.
is as lame
Yeah,
as the
don't.
first one.
Yeah.
No, his performance in the first one was great.
Oh, are you kidding me? That's
He was
number 2 for a
excellent.
reason. Every time I get all misty every time he gives a
my
speech.
God.
Yeah. And then number 1, Kevin Kline as President Bill Mitchell in Dave. He was the imposter. You remember Dave?
I did not watch it.
Okay. And so I saw Dave when it came out at the Dollar Theater, and I was sort of living in my car at that time, and it was $1, so I went, and I enjoyed it so thoroughly that I sat there until they rewound the film and played it again. I watched it twice in a row.
Was it just because you were trying to stay warm or like cool? Yeah, yeah, I
Yes.
figured.
It was,
as much.
it was,
yeah.
it was either that or go back to the car.
And there was floor popcorn.
Oh yeah,
Oh, delicious
Love
floor
it.
popcorn. So, Dave.
All right, cool,
Yeah.
great list. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's just enthralling. Okay, so
Oh, I thought
Sean, what movies that I've never seen do you have on your list?
I agree with you on Dave.
Yeah, thank you.
I agree with you on President James Dale from Mars Attacks.
Uh-huh.
Thomas Whitmore from Independence Day.
Yeah, he's right on it.
Okay, so
And then I went with President Merkin Muffley from Doctor Strangelove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never saw that.
Oh, you should. It is hilarious. And number 1, President James Marshall. Harrison Ford from Air Force One. Get off my plane.
God,
I never saw that either there. But
Get
I
off
wanted
my
to put him
plane.
on my
Well,
list.
it wasn't just Harrison Ford. His staff was like
Glenn Close was his vice
and,
president,
yeah.
and
It was he had a great supporting cast on the ground, just all sitting
Yeah.
around a table,
just waiting for him
just
to
waiting
die.
for him. Yeah, while he's doing all the action stuff in the plane.
Get off my plane.
Neil, do you have a big
Don't be old
five
man.
of presidents?
I have honorable mentions.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman, because when there's
For
a black
which one?
president, yeah,
Which one? He's been the president, I think, 2 or 3 times. Deep Impact, Morgan
Deep
Freeman.
Impact. Deep
Yeah.
Impact. He gave a pretty good speech in
Yeah.
that one, and Danny Glover was in the other disaster movie.
Oh, yes, he was, and I don't remember which one it is.
With that,
Is it White?
Oh.
Is it White House Down?
no, it was 2012.
2012. Yeah,
The big
Where
big
you-
wave took out the White House
yeah.
after the super volcano blew out the East Coast.
Oh yes,
God, we can never get that lucky nowadays.
that's good.
Is that it?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Those are my honorable mentions.
Well, they
but
don't have to be honorable mentions. They could be your big 2.
Big 2. MJ's furiously scribbling.
Yeah, I might as well read it to you. Delete that fucking picture, I will cut you. Okay? Try to do it off air like a fucking professional. but
Delete
you,
that fucking
fucking
picture, and I will.
And that's
yeah,
when
then just-
Sean, yeah,
right. It
yeah,
was gonna say,
that's-
or I will cut.
Well, I
you.
thought you were making your big 5 list.
no, I've got one,
Like a-
and that's
like a
the
professional.
Idiocracy guy.
Terry
Okay.
Hot,
Crews.
smoking hot.
That's
It's
awesome.
great. So,
Let's go ahead. It's easy to make now. Terry Crews is number 1.
yay!
Bill Pulliam was number 2.
Pullman.
Oh my god.
Kevin Kline number 3. Morgan Freeman was number 4, and Jack Nicholson
Get off my plane.
number 5.
Jack Nicholson. What did he play?
President James Dale from Mars Attacks.
Big Five.
Get off my
That was great.
big
Don't be
5.
so upset, MJ. You're cute.
No, I'm not in that picture at all, and it's really pissing me the fuck off.
You're so, but you don't need to be upset about it. You don't need to be upset. You need to have a sense of humor. Did you see the picture?
She
that-
does threaten to cut people a lot.
No, I
but
really want to punch
really
you in
think-
your
I believe
dick to
her on
help
this
you
one.
out.
Did you see the picture of Sean that I
Would've
put
helped
on
him out a
Instagram
while
the other
ago.
day?
Sean doesn't care though.
It's him as Miley Cyrus.
Oh, really?
Why would you
Spreading
make
his-
him Miley?
spreading his
Is he on the
legs.
wrecking ball?
He's twerking. There he is. See that?
Aw.
In front of the parental advisory. Plus,
Wow.
nobody looks at Instagram.
Yeah, I should really
MJ.
check out Instagram sometimes.
I really should now that I know
I
what
don't
he's
have an
doing
account
to
on
us.
Instagram either.
God damn it. What do we have planned for this segment? I have a concussion.
Look at this picture of you, MJ, on Instagram. Here's MJ on Instagram.
Yeah, you usually
as a
make me
sexy
look
Cupid,
great.
as a sexy Cupid.
But no, today you're like, oh, I'm going to make her
It's
look
just
like a
one picture.
toothless
It's
meth head with
the-
a fucking concussion.
Just because
You won't
I just
remember.
wanted to share
It's
the
okay, you
concussion
won't
with the
remember.
fit. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm
Delete
sorry.
it.
I will.
Right the
I
fuck
will
now.
delete it. I don't know how.
Okay. It's very easy.
Okay. My phone's dead. So here's an interesting. Oh, let's do the weird world this week, shall we?
Let's do it,
All
man.
right. Let me get the thing that says the weird world this week.
This is the Weird World This Week.
This is what happens when you don't show prep. All right. Movers dropped a rare and expensive grand piano belonging to one of the world's leading pianists,
Penists.
damaging
Good
it beyond repair. Canadian musician Angela Hewitt detailed the accidental destruction of her F278 Fazioli, worth an estimated $200,000.
God dang, dude, dang. And it's just like, I picture it like in the cartoons. You know how they're always falling on people? Like, comically, like, oh, no. It really happened somewhere in Canada.
She wrote on Facebook, I adored this piano. It was my best friend, my best companion. I loved how it felt when I was recording, giving me the possibility to do anything I wanted.
Yeah.
I hope my piano will be happy in piano heaven. And basically what happened, and it's a true story, and these guys they dropped it and it shattered. Like,
Is it insured?
why?
It would have to be. God.
I hope so.
But it won't be her piano. She can go get another
Right.
$200,000 piano. But again, that was, hers.
People asked if it could be rebuilt. She said it's not salvageable. It makes no sense financially or artistically to rebuild this piano from scratch. She wrote, "It's kaput."
Dang.
Yeah.
She used kaput.
So you guys,
Just like the comics.
you've ever had any bad moving experiences?
So, me moving my stuff personally, no. However, Neil and I share an experience. We had years and years ago, oh my God, we had a coworker and they asked if we would help them move. And I don't know why, because I'm usually really selfish, but for some reason we all agreed.
Okay.
Me, him, and Twitch. So we go help her move and we walk in. Neil, you describe it. Please, you describe it. Just describe what we walked into. We thought we were
Our
just
job-
going to move like a
well,
fucking
she
couch, right? It was a couch.
She was leaving Lexington. I think she was going back to Indianapolis. or somewhere.
Okay.
We open the door. There's cat feces everywhere. And when I say everywhere, every surface of carpet in this place had cat crap on it. And everything we picked up had cat crap underneath it.
Oh my God.
We,
Why?
One of them said, I mean, I had to have been Twitch. She just had a couch in the middle of a litter box.
She had a couch in the middle of a litter
Yes.
box.
And we were trying to be cool.
Yeah, after we loaded stuff up, we all she left, and we three went to a barbecue place and sat down to speak about the experience together because we had to talk about it.
Like a support group.
So
Oh,
no
yeah.
one said anything to her
No,
while you were doing it?
no.
Yeah, that was an intervention that I was not going to be a part of.
There was-
It
Did she
like,
have, how many cats did she have?
She hoarded the
Just
cat
the one.
shit. It was the cat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crap.
no,
one
she
cat?
didn't have. I don't remember seeing that many. Like maybe two.
I don't know.
I mean,
but
honestly,
there
I have
was
no idea.
So she,
No
but the house
investment in
wasn't.
litter.
The house wasn't overrun with cats.
It was
No.
an
Cat
apartment.
shit.
Yes.
It was an apartment whose carpets were covered with cat crap.
And
Covered.
the-
There was no place to walk without touching.
Yo,
it.
you literally walked on turds, man. Like, you know that song "Walking on Sunshine"?
Uh-huh.
Or replace it with "Walking on Cat Turds" and sing it to yourself.
That was the most obvious. Somebody should have said something at some point
We did
during this
not.
thing, but none of us said anything until after.
And
it
this was
done.
like way before hoarders and like anything of that nature. You know what I'm like? Really?
But nothing about her at work ever
No,
said
nothing.
That
She was
had-
like
Yeah,
a clean
normal. Yep,
individual.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And everything.
Yep, yep.
nothing
Yeah,
ever said
bizarre.
that.
And the fact that I think what blew my mind the most is because she was so well put together, was the fact that she didn't try to sweep up some cat shit before we came to help her move
No,
the couch.
no
You know what I'm
effort at
saying?
all.
Like
None.
it was like welcome to my litter box.
Yes,
Like it was
welcome
normal.
to the undisturbed. Please don't disturb the cat poop on the floor, please.
We were
It's right
shaking
where I
and
want it.
like I don't know if I ever agreed to help anyone move.
No, I've
After
never
that.
done it since.
Yeah.
I refuse because I'm not going into that again.
That is awful.
It was.
See,
Stephen
It-
King
it-
should write a book about it. No, you know what? Your wife should write a book about it.
It's one of
She
those
won't write
stories.
a
It's
book
one of
about
those
cat
stories
shit.
that you have to have a witness for. And thank God MJ was
Yeah.
there for it because I
Yeah.
would have been man.
No one
I
would
would have been at
believe
work.
you.
Yeah, nobody would have believed me at all.
Sean, do you have any weird moving stories?
You know, it's really hard to separate them. I've moved like 34 times in my life,
Jeez.
just because I grew up my dad in the military, and then I was in the military, and then I was a nomad for a while. So I remember when I was a kid, we were driving a U-Haul, and I fell asleep, and I thought aliens were talking to me, but it turns out it was just I was asleep by the wheel well because it was the old days where you didn't have to buckle up.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I heard wah 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 wah. Wah. So I woke up freaking out because aliens were talking to me. That was fun. Once we were moving.
God, I bet your parents were terrified. Like, holy shit, he's schizo.
No, it's crazy. Yeah. Once we were moving to Florida, we stopped for lunch, and we had a big old giant Ford LTD. I don't know if you remember a Ford LTD, but it's like 38 feet long. The hood is 20. The trunk is about 10, and then there's like 8 feet in the middle for everybody to sit. Somehow, while we were eating, red ants got in the car.
No, what?
In the back seat, and so my sister and I got bit by about 1,000 red ants.
Oh, no.
God.
That was on a move to Florida.
Are those the ones that bite you at the same time?
I don't know. There were a lot of bites.
There were a lot of bites.
And then, too numerous to mention, there's been those times where your stuff gets delayed in transit, so you don't have anything for like 2.5 weeks. So you're living out of a suitcase of three pairs of clothes, no television, no cookware, no nothing. So, no, just basic stuff like that. I never moved cat poop, unfortunately.
I've moved several times, too, and haven't had any really bad things happen. The worst was, though, that I hired movers, and...
Oh, Mr. fucking Moneybag.
Right?
Well, after I'd moved into... MJ, you lived in the same building as I did at one point, a high-rise.
Oh, God, what a shithole.
Right, and it
what
was
a
high...
fucking
It was like we
shithole.
lived on the 11th floor of that, so after we moved out of there, I was like, I'm never moving by myself again. And so I hired movers, because the next place I lived was like on the 3rd floor, and so I hired movers, but I didn't want them touching my most prized possessions, which was...
Porn.
One was I didn't mind if they touched my porn. One was a neon light, a Rolling Rock neon light.
Sure.
And the other was a Captain America sculpture that my friend actually was the sculptor of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's for sale in stores.
You love the finer things.
Yeah. And so I was like, they can move everything, but I'm going to move these 2 things myself.
Sure.
Because I didn't want them touching.
God, I hope you dropped them.
I broke them both.
No way. No way.
I broke them both.
Oh, my God.
And everything that the movers moved,
It was perfect.
absolutely 100. They were the best crew. They were so good. So, yeah.
That'll teach you.
Yeah.
The only time I ever hired movers was moving out of that freaking place. But I only had like 5 items of my huge cupboards and china cabinets. Like I did everything else myself, but I was like, fuck that. I was on the 18th floor, and I was like, hell no, because you got to wait for the elevator when you're moving out of a high rise. It fucking sucks.
Oh man, I had a video game, an old timey Burger Time machine, like a real video game. It take quarters.
Yeah.
That thing weighed 1,000 pounds. I moved it 6 times.
God.
It came with me everywhere I went. It's just that's the worst. But anyway, here's another story.
I think you helped me move once.
I did help you move once. It was fun.
Out of my house downtown.
You guys are very thoroughly pre-moved.
Yeah. I'm an expert.
I'm not. That's my problem when I move is I don't pack. I'm like, all my clothes
I'll
are
just
in the dresser
throw all
drawers.
my shit
Why would
in
I
the-
need to
yeah.
take them out of the dresser drawers and put them in boxes, then take them
Because
home?
the dresser weighs 18,000 pounds with all the clothes in it.
Well, I know, but that's why I'm a shitty mover. That's why I hire movers. All right.
Good call.
Man arrested for possessing pot lights up joint in courtroom.
This guy's a hero.
Spencer Allen Boston, 20, was arrested Monday and charged with disorderly conduct for simple possession after sparking up in the courtroom. Wilson County Sheriff, this is in Tennessee, said that Boston was in court Monday on a simple drug possession charge. Boston approached the bench to discuss his sentence, but instead expressed his views on legalizing marijuana. Boston reached into his pocket, pulled out a marijuana cigarette.
Who the fuck wrote this?
Cigarette.
Who the fuck wrote
He
this?
pulled out a marijuana cigarette.
No fucking person says that anymore. Nobody. My mom knows the word joint. Go on. Marijuana
from the Huffington
Cigarette.
Post,
oh,
if you
fuck
must
you.
know.
There are people on television making moonshine, and this guy's
Yeah.
getting arrested.
Oh, he's a
for
fucking
smoking.
hero.
He pulled out a marijuana cigarette, he lit it, smoked it, and was immediately taken into custody. Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Scott Moore said the courtroom crowd chuckled. It's unclear whether he lit up a joint or a blunt.
Oh,
got a joint. Take him down, take him down.
Oh, get him.
Wait, what's the difference between a joint and a blunt?
A cigar.
Blunts are fatter, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, blunt's like a
one's
cigar.
one's
Well, they
made
said
out
it
of
was a
joint's
cigar.
marijuana
papers.
cigarette.
So
I'm
that's a
pretty sure
joint.
it's a
Yes,
joint.
yes.
But they did
When one
say
is smoking marijuana.
the defendant's marijuana did have a strong odor.
Yeah, he was smoking dank weed in the courtroom. Motherfucking
You should see
hero of
the,
the week.
MJ, if you look at a
I've
picture of
seen
this
him.
guy,
Oh, I've read this
he
story.
looks like what Shannon Hoon would look like if he had
I
lived.
thought the exact same thing
Yeah.
when I saw his mugshot. He's like a little chubby. Like if Shannon Hoon hadn't got into heroin.
If he just survived and
Yeah.
he was in his 40s now, he'd be like a fat, toothless, drug addict like this guy. But he's very Shannon Hoon.
Is he a drug addict? What
Shannon
the fuck?
Hoon would be.
Oh, whew.
Shannon Hoon would be.
Sorry, I was like, whoa. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy clearly has no problem. He just wants to smoke joints.
Yeah,
in
and
court.
and he's smiling in his mugshot because he knows what he's done. He's like, "Fuck it, what are you gonna do?" Well, either way,
It's just a misdemeanor.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and the fact that the courtroom chuckled and didn't gasp like, "Oh no," like they laugh. They're like, "Wow, this kid's got some balls. That's funny."
Well, actually,
and then
Tennessee,
they're like,
who knows if it's a misdemeanor or not? They're fucking crazy down there.
"Surely to God, they are crazy. They're about as crazy as we are."
More so, I think.
All right,
That's all I got. Anybody got anything?
I told you about my concussion already, didn't I?
Yeah. I don't know. Did you?
I'm not sure. Why don't you tell us again?
She forgot. She forgot.
All right. Well, then it's time for nerd stuff.
God damn
right.
it, I'm trapped.
You'll be all right.
No, I'm going under the table.
Everybody's nerdy about something. Oh, go ahead.
Hey.
Neil. Sing it.
Yes, sir.
Sing it.
I will sing it now. Way, everybody's nerdy about something. And if you're not, your douchiness shows nerd stuff.
That's for you, MJ.
Who's
What
Sheena?
the-
And why are we doing her shows?
Douchiness.
Oh, your douchiness shows.
Yes.
I thought you said if you're not, you douchiness shows. It's my sister. I'm like, it's fine. She didn't have a show.
Stranger Things
Old lesbian.
season 4 is reportedly being split into 2 parts.
Of course it is, because why wouldn't it be?
So we're not just getting season 4, which is supposedly the final season of Stranger Things. We're getting season 4 and 4A, or 4A and 4B, or whatever. So they're really milking it for all it's worth.
I don't even understand. I guess so they can film it all at once and then release. I guess because the kids grow so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the age groups that they've got. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Like they all want.
And they don't. I'm pretty sure they don't want to do a Game of Thrones type thing. They don't want to
Rush it.
Rush
right.
the end, right?
Yeah.
Because they've really got to get the ending right.
Yeah.
They've been building it up. You're in love with all the characters. You really want to see where they're going, who's going to live, who's going to die, all that stuff. But I feel, I think ultimately they just want to extend it as much as they
Well,
can.
Wouldn't you?
Here's my issue with that. You know what season 4B is? Season 5.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
fucking call it season
Yeah.
5.
Season 5.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But I believe
Idiots.
what they're probably going to
Assholes.
do is like
Duffer
just do
Brother
5 and
fucks.
5 or something. Like what would normally be a season. They're just going
Yeah.
to cut it in half So that's probably why they're doing like 5.2 or 4.2 or
Well, if
whatever
they're
the fuck
doing
they're
that,
calling
they're
it.
just going against everything Netflix stands for.
What the fuck does Netflix stand for?
Watching everything all at once. You sit down, you
All
watch
right.
10 episodes of Stranger Things, and you're done. You don't
Yep.
have to watch it again.
All right.
Stranger Things, and you guys watched it way before I did. You kept saying, Sticky, you got to watch this, got to watch this. And I finally did. You were right. I was like, man, this is the best show. I love it. But I have a bone to pick with Stranger Things. But
Uh-oh.
It's the episode where 11 goes to the city.
Yeah,
You remember
everybody
that?
hates it.
Oh, and the sister.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, my problem is not with that episode specifically. My problem is with the fact that now every series that comes out has an episode where 11 goes to the city. And what I mean is, like, no matter what series you're watching, Umbrella Academy or anything new, even Watchmen, there's always one episode that's, like, got nothing to do with the rest of the series. Oh, I'll tell you, Titans. I was watching Titans. I loved Titans on the DC channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's we're almost done. There's 3 episodes left. And I'm like, telling my wife, let's binge this. Let's push through. Let's just watch one more, whatever. And then we get to this episode that's got nothing to do with the rest of the fucking story. You know what I mean? I call it the 11. It's like instead of jumping the shark,
Right.
it's the 11 Goes to the City episode. And every series has one now, and it just drives me crazy.
I thought for sure that they would somehow bring that around. You know?
Oh, they will.
They
You
still
think
might,
so?
Yeah. I would hope so.
I mean,
Otherwise, it really is pointless.
because that was like a few seasons back.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 2. right?
Yeah, like they've not even. Either way, yeah, that makes sense. That's good.
Have you seen the big news this week was the reveal of Robert Pattinson in the Batman cowl? We've seen the first images of Robert Pattinson as Batman.
No, I have not.
Okay, let me tell you something. Robert Pattinson henceforth will no longer be known as the sparkly vampire. He is now the sparkly Batman.
Is he sparkly?
No, he's not sparkly, but he is fucking perfect.
No, I
Dude.
told you.
I
told you when he got
You didn't
named.
have to tell me because I was happy
Told
that they
ya.
cast him to begin with. He'll
Awesome.
never not be a sparkly vampire, though, Sean.
No, he's always going to be a sparkly
Yeah.
vampire.
But let me tell you something, Neil. I'm talking to you now. This guy looks more like Batman with the mask on. He looks more like Batman than any actor's ever looked so far. It's all about the chin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the shape of the mask or whatever. I mean, it's perfect. He looks like the Batman from that Batman video game.
No way.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sean, what do you
So
think?
I think you're giving it a thumbs up. I can sense your excitement.
I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to turn my computer around.
I wanted to tell you. I've watched the first season of The Mandalorian.
Oh, how'd you feel about that? It was great, wasn't it?
I have good feelings about it.
Yeah.
Very good storyline.
I'm showing Neil now the Robert Pattinson as
that's
Batman.
nice.
Yeah. Now, you'll notice in this picture, and if you watch, it's like a video, and it starts at his waist and goes up to right here, and it stops just before you get to the ears. They don't show the ears. So we have no idea if they're going to be long ears, short ears, pointy
Curved.
ears, round ears, who knows?
But the bat symbol is made of pieces of the gun that killed his parents, allegedly.
That's a
Nice.
fan theory.
Yeah.
Well, he also rides a motorcycle. They said I've seen a still of him next to a motorcycle where he's.
Oh, that's cool. Bat cycle.
Yeah.
The other fan theory is that because the bat symbol, you could tell that it's made out of some sort of deconstructed metal, that it's his batarang. That he'll be able to like take it off and throw it. But there is a comic book written by Kevin Smith, Silent Bob fame. MJ, I'm trying to keep you involved.
Fat bastard.
He's tiny now.
There is an issue of Batman. Neil dropped the Kevin Smith doll, knocked us off the air.
That's when he
broken
was.
everything.
That was when he was chubby. It was the
Yes.
fat Kevin Smith that fell.
He wrote a one-shot issue of Batman where Batman gets the gun that killed his parents, and he melted it down and made it a chest protector.
saw that,
like a bullet
yes.
protector, and put it underneath the bat symbol. So I think that this fan theory holds a lot of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to be really excited to see the flashback to his parents' death.
I mean, how many times
Again.
though? I mean, for real.
All of them.
Again, every single Batman.
Every
story
Batman
has to
movie
tell
ever
it.
done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see that anymore.
Fucking Batman.
Marvel has Sony, the makers of Spider-Man movies and Morbius movies and Venom movies. Sony has announced another new Marvel movie, which will be released on October 8th, 2021, but they won't say what it is yet.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I'll tell you what it is.
What is it?
Kraven the Hunter. It's going to be a Spider-Man villain, a C-list Spider-Man villain called Kraven the Hunter.
How are you getting this information?
He's
I
making
just
it
have a
up in his
feeling.
head.
It's a gut feeling. I'm never wrong.
There are
God.
rumor mills that go around in the
How
annals of
wild would it
nerddom.
be if they did pick this random ass character no one's heard of?
But here's the reason why. Because, okay, they got Venom. They've got Mysterio.
Right.
They've got Morbius, which is Jared Leto. That's coming out soon. They've got the the Vulture, which is Michael Keaton, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need 6 bad guys to make a Sinister Six movie. Kraven would be number 5.
All right.
Oh no, and they've got the Scorpion. Kraven would be number 6. So if they make this Kraven the Hunter movie, they'll have a Sinister Six to go up against Tom Holland.
Oh my
And
God.
Sony has got a hard-on to get Tom Holland in one of their movies. Because he's a Disney Spider-Man, but they own the rights to him or whatever. Very
God,
complicated, yeah.
everything sounds so complicated.
Oh, it's so complicated. I'm not even getting into all of it.
Don't get him started,
Don't get
MJ.
me started. Anybody else?
Yeah, there's Harrison Ford has confirmed Indiana Jones 5 is
Oh my
still a thing
God.
that's happening.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Does that mean Shia LaBeouf has died?
Well, hopefully. 2 separate interviews. He says filming will start either this summer or maybe even April. Disney plans to release it in July 2021. Harrison Ford says, "Well, I'm not going to share the story with you." That's my Harrison Ford.
Get off my plane.
Get off my plane, because that doesn't seem like a good idea. But we'll see new developments in his life, his relationship. We'll see part of his history resolved. Who knows what the fuck that means?
Yep.
Nobody. Nobody knows what that means.
I mean, Sean Connery shows up from the dead and kills Shia LaBeouf.
I gotta tell you,
Sean Connery didn't die.
No, the ghost of Sean Connery comes back and kills Shia LaBeouf.
But Sean Connery's not dead. I mean, I'm all for,
Sean Connery could come back
I'm all
and kill
for him
Shia
killing
LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, but
I like.
Mutt.
Let me tell you, I think that Crystal Skull was so god awful
yeah.
that they can't do worse than that. And that if they're making another Indiana Jones, even with a 77-year-old Indiana Jones, I'm for it. I think it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's be honest. Going back and watching Crystal Skull, a little removed from its time in the theater, made me reevaluate it a little bit.
And
Still shit.
yeah,
But I did watch it.
just
agree.
the worst.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
well, when Lily was about 7, 8 years old, my daughter, she watched Raiders with me.
Yeah.
She wanted to watch them all after that. And I had the Blu-ray box set. So she saw there was a 4th movie and put it in while I was otherwise occupied somehow and started watching it. And so I was stuck watching it because she was into it. She was 8 and she hated it.
Well, it's when you're in, you cannot survive a nuclear blast in a refrigerator.
That was the best part of the movie.
It's lead lined, man.
That was the best part of the movie. That's how bad that movie was. That was the best part. Let me say,
I don't know. I
love every
I thought
movie.
Nazi Kate or Russian Kate Blanchett was
She's so
pretty
hot,
good.
though.
Yeah.
I liked Suicide Squad the first time I saw it in the theater. If I go see a movie in the theater, I usually walk out like that was great. And even that, I walked out I was like, man, that movie sucked. That movie sucked.
Well, I did. Well, see, I didn't like it from the jump.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
you said that was the best movie, the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, well, I think
hated
so,
it.
too.
Well, see, I hate the first. If I hate the first scene in the movie, I can't. It's hard for me to. Jump
it's
on
funny
board.
because it's not as well known as Jump the Shark,
Mm-hmm.
but people refer to if a movie
franchise
goes sideways, they say it nuked the fridge.
No.
Yeah, that's a thing.
hilarious.
Well, I think the Fast and the Furious franchise is going to nuke the fridge with John Cena as.
Oh,
as
yeah, that had
Toretto's
nuked
brother.
the fridge.
I
Yeah,
think they nuked
that
the
has
fridge in the first
With
movie.
the Rock redirecting a torpedo on some ice.
Well,
That
how about the
didn't nuke
car
the fridge.
swinging across a canyon like Tarzan
Hey, man,
in the trailer of the Fast and Furious? Do you see that?
don't doubt that stuff can happen.
Okay,
You just haven't seen the right races.
they're like the
Happens all the
car
time.
was like the hood of the car was closed onto the vine, and the
Yeah.
car was swinging across a canyon.
Did you see Hobbs and Shaw?
I did not see Hobbs and Shaw.
There's some amazing BS going on in that movie too.
Well,
Yeah, but that's got The Rock and Jason Statham in it, so you know it's the best movie ever made.
oh, here's something interesting. Sam Raimi, the guy who directed the original 3 Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies,
Yes.
is now on board to direct Doctor Strange Part 2. Which
Is
has
he?
got people, yeah. And that has got people really freaking out because, obviously, Doctor Strange Part 2 is titled The Multiverse of Madness, right? Multiverse is
So
all,
they could
all
be
the different
jumping.
dimensions.
So they could jump into any Marvel character,
Including Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, who Sam Raimi was the director of. So if he wants to put Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in this movie, he can and will.
Theoretically, it could happen.
Yeah, absolutely it could. I hope it doesn't, but people are going crazy for him, and they really think it's going to.
Sam Raimi, director of the Evil Dead trilogy.
Also that.
If he could make the Doctor Strange movie as good as the Evil Dead trilogy, that'd be awesome.
I hope so, because frankly, I don't
Awesome.
think he's a very good director. I think some of his directing choices are just really bizarre. And, like, some of the... I know it was like back in the early part of the century, or whatever. Some of the special effects in the Spider-Man movie they were so bad.
Well, who said, "Hey, let's just have Spider-Man shoot webs out of his wrists"? That's
Sony,
just-
the executives.
Nobody
at Sony.
said, "Hey, let's make Spider-Man smart enough to develop a web fluid that he can shoot out of web shooters."
There's a long story behind it, But it was like basically it was like if we do this, the movie's it's gonna take us 3 more months to finish the movie. We have to write more scenes. Blah blah blah. No, fuck it. Let's just shoot him out of his wrist. You know what I mean? It was like a time-saving thing.
A scene of him with like a couple of scientific bottles.
Yeah. I'm
and
with
just
you, man.
pouring one thing into another thing, and then
Well,
with a notepad that says web fluid and some scientific crap on it. They couldn't do one scene of that.
No, man, they were too busy writing scenes where Tobey Maguire walks down the street giving people finger guns.
Yeah,
like in Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
What are you into, MJ?
What?
What kind of nerd stuff are you watching now?
I don't know. I have a concussion.
Okay. I think we should wrap it up. MJ's not feeling good. She's really mad at me about the picture.
I am pretty fucking pissed about the goddamn
Don't be,
picture.
MJ, because I did it out of love.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
did.
It is the opposite. You did it out of spite, and then you turned around and said to keep me, quote, humble. What the?
Well, that was just a joke.
Let's do some dad jokes. You got one?
Dad jokes. Dad jokes. They don't seem funny to normal folks.
I've got one.
Okay. This is
Kind of.
Frank.
So I was in my room and I saw a group of 10 ants just running frantically. I felt bad, so I made them a small house out of cardboard for them. This technically makes me their landlord, and they are my tenants. Tenants.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I'm gonna give you something good. Since,
that was with a concussion, ladies and
First
gentlemen.
off, I am 35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
Awesome. That's an honor. Thank you. I can't believe it got a Chris Farley. It's fantastic.
you earned that
Thanks.
for putting up with me. Sean, you got a dad joke?
Why can't a nose be 12 inches long?
Because then
Yes?
it would be
A foot.
Hey, man, they're not all winners.
That's supposed to be. It's a dad joke.
No, my dad sent me a whole bunch of short ones. A whole bunch of short ones. I can't find them. Murder at the Walmart.
Oh, God.
Oh, that sounds good.
God. Oh,
Tired
God.
of constantly, this is not a short one.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Tired of constantly being broke and stuck in an unhappy marriage, a young husband decided to solve both problems by taking out a large insurance policy on his wife, with himself as a beneficiary, and then arranging to have her killed. A friend of a friend put him in touch with a nefarious dark side underworld figure who went by the name Artie. That's important. Artie then explained to the husband that his price for snuffing out his spouse was $5,000. The husband said he was willing to pay that amount, but he wouldn't have any cash until he could collect the insurance money. Artie insisted on being paid at least something up front, so the man opened his wallet, displaying a single dollar bill. Artie sighed and rolled his eyes, reluctantly agreed to accept the dollar as a down payment. A few days later, Artie followed the man's wife to the local super Walmart. There, he surprised her in the produce department, proceeded to strangle her with his gloved hands as the poor, unsuspecting woman drew her last breath and slumped to the floor.
What in the fuck is happening?
The manager of the produce department stumbled unexpectedly onto the murder scene. Unwilling to leave any living witness behind, old Artie had no choice but to strangle the produce
Old
manager
Artie.
as well.
Really?
However, unknown to Artie, the entire proceedings were captured by the hidden security cameras and it's observed by the store's security guard, who immediately called the police. Artie was caught and arrested before he could even leave the store.
Is this like a Florida story?
I don't know. Really
I feel like
don't.
this doesn't have a punchline.
It
Keep
looks
going.
like it's
Push through.
all right.
Oh, God damn it.
Sean needs to know what's going to happen. Under intense questioning at the police station, Artie revealed the whole sordid plot, including his unusual financial arrangements with the hapless husband, who was also quickly arrested. The next day, in the newspaper, the headline declared,
Yes? Yes?
it says, parentheses, "You're going to hate me for this."
I do.
Oh, God.
Yes, already.
Oh, God.
Greater than sign, greater than sign, greater than sign, greater than sign, greater than
Okay.
sign, greater than sign.
Artie chokes 2 for $1 at Walmart.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
my god. Oh god.
Come on,
oh
Artie.
god.
Artichokes.
Oh god.
2 for
Artichokes.
$1 because you could get 2
Yeah, no,
artichokes for $1
I'm
at
done.
Walmart.
I'm
That's a
done.
good
Wow.
price on
Funny.
artichokes.
My concussion is funnier
That is
than
a
that.
really good price on
Then it
artichokes.
says, "Oh, quit groaning! I don't write this stuff. I receive it from my warped friends and then send it to you."
Oh my god, it's so bad.
It's
Maybe you didn't get it because
It
No,
was-
I
it was-
totally
was Artie
did get
and
it.
he choked
I
2 people for
100%.
$1.
I
Swear to God, I
especially,
got it.
I especially loved how you described the double murder.
Yeah,
Very,
That was
very,
very
specific,
descriptive.
yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
that really gave the joke. That was the kicker. that
Because,
was
then,
the
because
kicker.
then you could go to Walmart and buy artichokes,
Yes.
2 for $1.
I
You see,
understand the math.
They sound the same, artichokes and artichokes.
Oh.
That's why that's funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was
That's
just
why.
a sale at Walmart.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That was a great show, guys.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So
High
glad I
quality
drove all the way
episode.
over here for that.
Screw you, Sticky. I have a concussion.
I feel so bad for MJ. I can't decide whether I feel bad for her or not.
Obviously not, because you put a freaking picture up. Son of a bitch. Let's wrap this up. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
There you go.
And this has been MJ and the boys, you lucky bastard.
Take it down.
Beep.